The moment her Uber pulled away from the driveway, I felt something I couldn't explain. An odd weight in my chest, as if my instincts were warning me. Laura had been talking about this girl's trip to Miami for weeks, brushing off my half-joking concerns with a laugh and a kiss on the cheek. "Don't worry," she had said. "It's just us girls. Sun, shopping and cocktails." I told myself to trust her. After all, she was my wife. But 3 hours later, as I sat at my desk sipping lukewarm coffee, my inbox pinged with a new message. The subject line froze me. "You deserve to know the truth about your marriage." My heart thudded. Hands trembling, I clicked it open. The email was anonymous. No name, no signature, just words that sliced through me like glass. "Your wife isn't in Miami for a girls' trip. She's with someone else. A man. They've been seeing each other for months. Tonight, check her phone records. The proof is there." I read it 3 times, each sentence burning deeper. 1,000 thoughts raced in my head. Was this a cruel prank? A mistake? Or was the gnawing unease I'd been trying to bury finally clawing its way to the surface? When Laura called that evening, her voice was light, almost too light. "Hey babe. We just landed. The hotel's gorgeous. You'd love the view." I forced a smile she couldn't see. "That's great. Who's all there?" She rattled off a few names of friends I barely knew. Her laugh sounded rehearsed, like she was reading from a script. "I'll call you later, okay? The girls want to grab dinner." "Sure," I said, keeping my voice steady. "Have fun." When the call ended, I sat in silence, my phone heavy in my hand. My chest tightened with dread, but I remembered the email's words. Check her phone records. That night, I logged into our shared phone account. My breath caught when I saw the same number repeated. Late-night calls, long durations, sometimes an hour or more, all to a contact saved only as D. I stared at the screen until the numbers blurred. It felt like the air had been sucked out of the room. D. The name mocked me, taunting with its simplicity. The next day, I decided to test her. "Hey Laura," I said when she called, "how's Miami?" "Oh, amazing," she gushed. "We're heading to the beach now. The weather's perfect." I opened Instagram on my laptop as she spoke, typing in the handle of one of her friends she claimed was on the trip. No Miami posts. No beach photos. Just a story of her sitting at a cafe in Chicago, time-stamped an hour ago. My stomach dropped. "Who are you with right now?" I asked suddenly. She hesitated. Of the girls, why? But her pause had already told me everything. That night, unable to sleep, I sat in the dark replaying every moment of our marriage. The excuses, the late nights, the times she guarded her phone like it was a treasure chest. I remembered the night she came home smelling of cologne that wasn't mine. She had laughed it off. Must have been the Uber driver. I wanted to believe her then. But now? Now I couldn't ignore the puzzle pieces snapping together into a picture I didn't want to see. By the 3rd day, I was done with doubts. I called one of her so-called friends. "Hey, this is Mark, Laura's husband. Quick question. Are you in Miami with her right now?" Silence. Then a nervous laugh. "No. I'm actually at home." "Why?" My throat went dry. "Thanks," I muttered, hanging up before she could ask more. The betrayal hit me in waves, each one heavier than the last. My wife hadn't just lied. She had built an entire theater of deception, a performance so carefully staged I almost applauded it. On the 4th day, Laura texted me a picture of the ocean. "Wish you were here, Red Heart." I stared at the photo, my hands shaking. I could see the jagged edge of a man's arm in the frame, cropped poorly. Not a girl. Not a friend. A man. When she finally came home, suitcase rolling behind her, I was ready. She walked through the door smiling, sun-kissed, acting like nothing had happened. "Hi, love," she said, wrapping her arms around me. I didn't hug her back. Her smile faltered. "What's wrong?" I handed her a printout of the phone records. "Who's D. Laura?" Her face drained of color. For the first time in years, she had no script. She stammered. "It's not what you think." "Don't insult me." I cut in, my voice breaking. "I know you weren't in Miami. I know about him." She sank onto the couch, her head in her hands. "Mark, I didn't mean for it to happen." I laughed bitterly. You didn't mean to betray me? To lie every day? To go behind my back? Her tears came quickly, but they did nothing for me. I had cried enough in silence already. I need to know, I said finally, my voice low, trembling. Do you love him? She looked at me then, eyes wet, and the pause before she answered was the longest second of my life. I don't know, she whispered. That was it. That was the dagger. Not even the affair itself, but the fact that after all our years together, she couldn't say no. That night, I slept in the guest room. She knocked once, twice, but I couldn't bring myself to open the door. Lying there, staring at the ceiling, I realized something. Betrayal doesn't just shatter trust. It shatters the version of yourself that believed you were safe, loved, chosen. In the morning, I packed a bag. Where are you going? She asked, her voice cracking. Somewhere I don't have to question if I matter, I said, brushing past her. She reached for my arm. Mark, please, we can fix this. I turned to her one last time. You broke us, Laura. You didn't just make a mistake. You chose him. And now I'm choosing myself. I left without looking back. The days that followed were a blur of silence and empty rooms. Friends tried to comfort me, but their words slid off like rain on glass. At night, I replayed her laugh, her smile, the promises we once whispered in the dark. But every memory now came with a shadow, tainted by lies. Weeks later, an envelope arrived, divorce papers signed by her. No note, no apology, just legal ink on cold paper. I sat at the table staring at it for a long time, then picked up a pen. With a shaky breath, I signed my name. It was the hardest, most liberating thing I'd ever done. Betrayal didn't just end my marriage. It ended the illusion I had been clinging to. And though my heart still ached, somewhere beneath the wreckage, a small flame of freedom burned. For the first time in years, I wasn't living in someone else's lie. I was free to write my own truth.